President Barack Obama takes office and a new Congress convenes, our nation will invest $150 billion in clean, green, domestic, renewable energy to create new jobs and stimulate the economy.
Almost a half-century ago, a well-known resident of Massachusetts promised the world that we would travel to the moon.
50 years later, a new president with new hopes is calling for his own project, similar to the Apollo project, advocating a technological revolution in the field of energy, designed to achieve America's goal of energy independence in 10 years.
Deepwater offshore wind technology is ready to lead. Here's why. The energy potential exceeds our current demands. It's a cost-effective generator of power. Their plans ensure public safety. They're adaptable and flexible. They protect the environment. And finally, they preserve the aesthetic beauty of our ocean sanctuaries and coastal communities. Blue H USA, a developer of deepwater wind farms that depend on Blue H's deepwater floating turbine technology, is answering that call from President Obama and the Congress by proposing a project in federal waters 23 miles off the coast of Martha's Vineyard and 48 miles off the coast of New Bedford.
This project makes sense. It has a number of cost, operational, and environmental benefits. It's a project people can support.
Ray Ackerman, the general manager of Blue H USA, is an entrepreneur who is used to looking to the sea for answers.
We have citizens from all walks of life coming up to us and saying, "Where have you been? Why haven't you been here earlier? This is something that we can build, and this is something that we can support."
Simply put, Blue H USA builds cutting-edge offshore wind turbines to be placed in deep water. And such water, defined as 30 meters deep and beyond, is where the strongest winds are found. That's 90% of offshore wind energy potential, which, once harnessed, will exceed the current electricity demands of the U.S. power industry.
The U.S. Department of Energy has determined that over 900,000 megawatts of offshore wind energy potential exists off the United States coast.
So Blue H USA would like to build a floating wind turbine similar to this prototype that was installed off the coast of southern Italy in 2008 by Blue H, but much larger, to prove that this deep-water wind energy technology is a viable solution to our energy and economic issues.
It is the Blue H technology allows you to maximize the positive benefits associated with wind power generation while minimizing the negatives in the best interest of all the people.
And that's an opinion he shares with some pretty powerful decision makers.
We have the support of the entire Massachusetts congressional delegation for the project. And I'm confident that this is a project that everyone can unite to support, and that Blue H deep-water technology can be a big part of the technological revolution called for by President Obama and the Congress.
Energy and the economy? Absolutely. These modular floating wind turbines, which can be adapted as technology advances, are assembled on land close to where they're deployed, which means plenty of those green jobs discussed during the election campaign.
According to wind energy experts, there are 18 jobs per installed megawatt with Blue H's technology. Our project is 420 megawatts that can be scaled beyond 5 times that amount. So you can figure the amount of jobs and local impact to the area.
And placing these wind turbines well offshore makes financial sense.
Since we do not construct at sea and have to prepare the seabed, we have a comparative cost advantage. The fact is, since we go further offshore and access stronger average wind speeds, we can have wind farms that are much more viable.
So it's economically viable, but is it safe?
Because we deploy in areas that are far away from ferry routes and shipping lanes and commercial and recreational boaters, as well as outside of the jurisdiction of the FAA, there's no public safety problems associated with this technology.
Thanks to successful adaptations of technology proven in the oil and gas industry for nearly 30 years and the Gamma turbine research and development that was in part conducted by NASA, the Blue H technology is here today. As President Barack Obama takes office, he'll begin to implement his plan for America's energy independence,
which is only appropriate on this coldest day in some 5 years here on Cape Cod, Massachusetts. And just as a Massachusetts resident brought the nation together some 50 years ago with President Kennedy's Apollo project, his successor hopes to do much the same. And Blue H is ready to be part of the solution.
We're very hopeful that through this message to the Congress, to the 435 members of the U.S. House and the 100 members of the Senate in the Obama administration, that we can get the federal government, the Minerals Management Service, to move as expeditiously as possible to approve Blue H's nomination for lease in Massachusetts, so that this project can serve as a model for replication throughout the rest of the country, in Maine, in California, in the Great Lakes, and Blue H can become a substantial generator of clean, green, renewable, cost-effective domestic power that also stimulates our economy and promotes homeland security in the best interest of the American people.